This is Consumer Friend.
Welcome, listeners, to an exciting episode of the Consumer Friend podcast, your go-to source for all things consumer related. I'm your host, Adam, and today we have an electrifying show in store for you. We're thrilled to introduce the newest campaign that's bound to make your home the perfect example of efficiency and sustainability. Get ready to buckle up and power up as we dive into the world of Energize, Retrofit Your Home. Good afternoon, good evening, Louise. How are you?
I'm all right, Ads. I'm good today. I've got new hair.
Oh,
So
well
I'm
done.
excited.
That's not great for a podcast no one can see. But
I'll
you look
take
great.
Photos of my new hair.
Okay, and put it all over
If people
socials.
want to see them.
Everyone,
People want to see my hair.
Everyone will want to see that, I'm sure. Definitely
This
sure.
is true.
Right, okay, so today, bonus pod. We're not going to talk for long. We just want to talk about our new campaign, Energize, introduce it, talk about what we're going to do over the next 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, you've optimistically said this campaign is going to last a month. I'm not entirely sure I can sustain.
At least. And then also, so a month, and then we might do it again and again and again because it's very important.
It is very important. I agree with you. I'm not entirely sure a month-long campaign is going to land after about 2 or 3 weeks. But hey, that's our personal differences. So I'm sure we'll figure out.
Those. We could do a 2-hour pod on those.
So everyone, please look out for social media posts. We've got a stupid video that Louise recorded.
It's not stupid.
It's not. No, you're right. Sorry.
It's not stupid.
I would like to say it's not stupid. You recorded a video with words on and then you narrated the words, but you were concentrating so hard on the narration of your words that there was a zero emotion in your voice and it sounded like Siri was doing it. In fact, not
right.
even.
So, what I was trying to do was to speak slowly and clearly because I do understand that sometimes I speak at the rate of knots. And only dogs and dolphins can hear me. So I was trying to speak in less of a southern twang and very clearly. And it came across as boring. You were right, it did. But we have to say thank you to Phil Belsey as well, because he helped us a little bit with this campaign, because he's a marketing expert.
I'm not entirely sure we're allowed to mention his name, but sod it. Who cares, right?
We have.
Too late.
Belsey, thanks. Appreciate it.
So, Louise, talk to me about Energize. Talk to me about the campaign.
All right, so Energize Your Home Retrofit is basically trying to give people really simple information on how to make your home more energy efficient, but also to save money. So save money on your energy bills. It's about teaching people what the language means. So obviously, because we are playing English champions, but also around the really simple things that you can do and some top tips on how you can make your house more energy efficient, save the planet, save some money. Everybody wants to save some money at the minute in the cost of living crisis, and people don't really understand what retrofit means. So we're trying to make it easier for people.
That's exactly the point that I've been making whenever we do a retrofit podcast. The word retrofit is a rubbish word. It doesn't mean anything to people. Certainly to me.
Problem is, though, nobody listens to us.
I completely agree. And also, it's also worth pointing out that you did a study into the word retrofit to ask consumers what they thought the word actually meant. Now, from my understanding, is you spoke to 3 school mums on the school run and labelled it a study.
I asked several WhatsApp groups because I'm very popular, thank you very much, what the word retrofit meant. So I said to some, what I would call average consumers, not like Gary, less than average consumers, what do you understand by the word retrofit? So some of the responses we had were, is it like Tom Selleck in Magnum PI?
Jesus, no one's going to get that.
Well, we got it because we're old, but anyway.
Do you know what? I don't ever remember watching Magnum PI. I think I think I'm too young for Magnum PI, and I'm mid-40s.
We're not. But hold up, just to clarify, 43 is not mid-40s.
I'm mid-40s. I didn't reveal.
2 weeks. You're 12 days younger than me, so I am definitely not mid-40s.
But Louise, you look about 35.
Oh, this is true. Especially with my swishy hair. So somebody else came back with back-combed hair, full body leotards, ankle warmers, grapevine, Olivia Newton-John, let's get physical. So basically, and when I spoke to my mum about this, my mum's 74, I spoke to my mum about it. She was like, is it like flowery wallpaper? People think about it like 1970s, making your house retro like 1970s. They don't think about it being energy efficient. So
I agree.
as you know, Adam, and as I've talked about before, I embarked on a retrofit of my house. And I've learned a lot by doing it myself. Didn't necessarily go about the right way, because the whole purpose of our campaign is trying to give people easy tips on how to get into this market and actually how to do it to your house without it being quite so overwhelming and without that marketplace vulnerability for people because they don't know what they're doing. So the first bit, one of the pieces of advice we give is to ask an expert, because they will give you a plan which gives you a straight line of things you need to follow to ensure that you're doing the right things at the right time. Obviously, I didn't do that. Obviously, I just decided to do what I wanted to do.
You go all in.
All in.
In the last podcast, we had Retro with Russ from Retrofit Works and Parity Projects. He spoke so well about the things that people should be doing to put a plan in place about retrofitting their home. I would encourage everyone to go back and listen to that podcast to figure out how they can start their journey. But what we're going to do over the next 3-4 weeks is talk about individual aspects of retrofitting your home, the experts that you can talk to, the assessors that you need to go and see, and develop your plan. We're also going to try and break down some of the jargon, some of the language around some of the technology that's involved in retrofitting your home. We'll try and do a simple explanation of what a heat pump is, how solar panels work. Louise, you're doing all these, by the way, so you need to learn.
But it's also, do you know what? It's far simpler than that. If you find a reputable trader, so you find somebody that's trusted, that's part of a scheme like Trustmark, for example, they will do that for you. And they should provide that information to you in clear, easily understandable language. Part of the consumer survey I did, one of the people that I talked to said, I was thinking today about how the government should be helping us to fit solar panels, but how they aren't at the moment, and how, I mean, there was some political language in the text, which I won't repeat, but there was around, people don't feel there's enough being done by the government around education either. So that's where we're coming in to try and help people with it. So for me, I did things like I had single glazed windows in my kitchen, which I replaced to double glazed windows. I think they're triple glazed actually. I had cavity wall insulation put in. I had my solar fit. I had a new boiler. I mean, my boiler broke, so I had to do it at the time, but I had a more energy efficient boiler put in. These were all quite expensive things. So, but it doesn't have to be expensive. There are things you can do, even like changing your light bulbs, which are cheaper to do. Cheap is subjective, isn't it? It depends what people can afford to do.
It really is, yeah. The ideal is to go and see an expert and get a plan created for your home, and you don't necessarily have to do everything all at once. You just put your plan in place and you tick it off bit by bit as you go.
But it's something that every time you do a piece of work in your house, one of the bits of advice that I took away from Russ was one of the pieces of advice is that actually every time you do something in your house, you need to be considering retrofit. So there's something that can be done at every stage of it. So if you have a new kitchen put in, there's things you can do. If you were to have a new boiler, a new bathroom, there's all these different things you can do to ensure your house is more energy efficient. I mean, the fantastic leaflet and information sheet that we've come up, which is 2 sides, which I have to say is a triumph, Adam.
Yes, well done, Louise.
Which talks about all the different things that you can do in your house, and then tries to just make it really, really simple for people around that research piece. Ask the expert, like Russ, so we can now go to Russ and ask the expert. And then get that plan in place so that you know what's coming next, what you can afford. There's also, we just released some information on the website around grants that are available for, the grants are available for middle earners now. There's more grants coming in everybody's direction for things like cavity wall insulation, which isn't just about either keeping your house warm, it's about keeping your house cool as well. It's both of it. So that's something I've learned. I thought it was about keeping the heat in, but it's not. Retrofitting is also about letting the heat out so that you don't get boiling in the summer.
Absolutely. It's about having a comfortable home. It's about lowering your energy bills, reducing your carbon footprint, simply creating a more comfortable and sustainable living space. That's what it's about.
I think this is going to be like our USP ads, which is what we've talked about. This is like
plain English retrofit. Absolutely. Plain English retrofit. Let people understand exactly what it means. That's what we're going to do.
Excited.
Perfect. Thank you, Louise. That's all we need. We're not going to do any more than that. It's just a little bonus pod to introduce the campaign. If we could just ask people, please get in touch with us through the website. Our email address is info@consumerfriend.org.uk. Please like and share all the social media stuff. We're going to try and get this message out there to the world, and we're going to go for this net zero target for 2050. I reckon we're going to be on this for the next 27. I can't work that out. How can I not work that out?
27 years.
27 years.
26 and a half, really.
We're going to be there at the end, at 2050, going, woohoo, we did it! Or, oh no, we didn't do it.
Any partners or people as well that are on the same sort of journey as us with this stuff, we'll happily work with people to try and promote this stuff. Because again, people don't know what it is. I didn't know what it was until we started doing this.
Yeah.
And actually, because you got so excited about it, I was like, I need to learn about that. That sounds exciting. If Adam's excited, it might be exciting.
I am excited. Right. Thank you very much, Louise. We'll leave it there. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And please, like I say, like, subscribe, share, do all that kind of stuff. Thank you and goodbye.
This is Consumer Friend.